You've probably seen them behind the gate counter, calm, collected, tapping quickly into a computer, or sometimes clearly stressed and juggling 3 radios. Gate agents are the last line between you and the aircraft door. But what most people don't know is that gate agents hold far more power than you'd think. They know exactly when you arrive, whether your seat can be changed, what notes are on your record, and yes, if you're faking that limp to board early, they can bump you to first class or bump you off the flight entirely. They are trained not just in logistics, but in psychology, and while you're worried about missing your flight or finding overhead bin space, they are playing a high-stakes game behind the scenes. So what do they know that we don't? Here are 14 secrets gate agents know, but will never tell you. 1. They know if you're about to miss your flight before you do. Gate agents can see your status in real time. They know whether you've checked in, whether you've gone through security, and whether your boarding pass was scanned. The airline's internal system lights up with passenger status updates. Even if you haven't reached a gate, they know you're cutting it close. Ever notice a gate agent calling out your name over the intercom 5 minutes before departure? That's not coincidence. If you haven't checked in or if TSA hasn't scanned your boarding pass yet, the agent gets an alert. They might delay a flight by a few minutes for someone running from security, or they might close the door right on time. It all depends on how valuable you are to the airline and how nice you've been. Here's a little known tip. If you're cutting it close, call the airline while you're running. The call center can directly alert the gate in certain cases, which increases your chance of the plane holding for a few extra minutes. It's not a guarantee, but it shows initiative and that you're trying. 2. Being nice can literally change your seat and your fate. Gate agents deal with hundreds of people per shift. Most are tired, frustrated, or rude, but the few who smile, say thank you, or show genuine patience stand out. And guess what? Those are often the people who get lucky when there's an extra seat in business class. There's a lot of discretion in seat assignments, especially during irregular operations like delayed flights or overbookings. Gate agents may need to reshuffle seating, and when they are picking someone to move to a premium seat, they often reward good behavior. Politeness isn't just a virtue. At the gate, it can be currency. And yes, agents remember faces. If you've flown through the same airport a few times, don't be surprised if the gate agent recognizes you. A history of kind interactions can help you the next time your name pops up with a seat request. 3. They can see who you're traveling with, even if you booked separately. You might think separate bookings keep you anonymous, but airlines can often link itineraries through contact info, frequent flyer numbers, or even seating requests. If you check in at the same time, gate agents can usually tell you're together. Why does this matter? Let's say there's only one upgrade left and 2 passengers requested. If the agent sees they're traveling together, they may skip both or offer something else. Or, in cases of rebooking after delays, linked passengers are more likely to be kept on the same flight. Another layer to this is child, parent, or caregiver-patient pairings. Agents are taught to look out for obvious groupings, and sometimes they will proactively adjust seating to keep people together, even if no formal request was made. This behind-the-scenes support often goes unnoticed. 4. The computer doesn't always make the decision. They do. People assume airline systems are automatic. And yes, computers suggest seat assignments, upgrades, and boarding order. But gate agent can override a lot, more than you'd think. An agent can manually change your seat, override a bag fee, or bump someone off a flight if needed. While there are rules and logs, discretion plays a big role. Want a bulkhead seat or to sit closer to the front? If you ask nicely, they might just make it happen. This power also extends to weight and balance decisions. For smaller aircraft, weight distribution matters. Gate agents may move people around based on size, travel group, or even ticket class. That's why sometimes your seat gets changed with no warning. It's not personal, it's physics. 5. The plane won't always wait for you, but it has waited for less important people. Gate agents have a strict boarding cutoff, usually 10 to 15 minutes before departure, but they can request a hold, and they do, especially for VIPs, pilots deadheading, or passengers connecting from delayed flights. Ever feel like your flight left without you, even though you were just minutes away? It probably did. But in other cases, the flight may sit on the tarmac for 20 minutes waiting for one elite status traveler sprinting through Terminal C. Gate agents won't admit this, but some passengers matter more. That said, gate agents hate delays. Every minute a flight is late costs the airline money. So if they delay a flight, it's usually for a strategic reason, not personal bias. But if you want that favor, it all goes back to being respectful and visible. 6. Luggage rules are strict unless they decide otherwise. We've all seen it. One person gets stopped for a slightly overstuffed bag. The next breezes by with a suitcase that could hold a horse. What gives? Gate agents have the power to enforce bag rules or let things slide. If overhead bins are filling up fast, they'll get stricter. If the flight isn't full, they may wave you through. Some bags even get a secret Gate Oklahoma tag without being measured, just because the agent knows you. Also, don't underestimate the red-orange valet tag. That's not a downgrade, it's often a favor. It means you don't have to drag your bag through a tight regional jet, and it'll be waiting for you as you exit. Frequent flyers love this trick. Ask for it if your carry-on is borderline. 7. They know when you're lying about needing assistance. Pre-boarding rules protect passengers who truly need assistance, mobility issues, disabilities, or families with young children. But gate agents are trained to spot the fakers. If you suddenly develop a limp when the first-class passengers are called, they'll notice. If you board early, then sprint down the jet bridge, they'll remember. Gate agents won't always call you out, but they'll note it. Repeat offenders may even get flagged. This abuse of pre-boarding not only annoys staff, it delays the process of people who genuinely need help. Think twice before you try to game the system. Remember, gate agents can write internal comments on your profile that follow you across future flights. 8. Your seat can change in seconds if you know when to ask. Right before boarding begins, gate agents often do a final reshuffle. Maybe a crew member gives up a jump seat, or a frequent flyer cancels last minute. That's the time to ask for a better seat. Don't wait until you're on the plane. Flight attendants can't change seat assignments, but the gate agent, they still can. Be polite, be flexible, and ask right as boarding begins. You might go from a middle seat to the exit row just like that. They also might be willing to swap you out of a seat next to the lavatory or one in a tightly packed row if a better seat becomes available due to a no-show. But you have to be proactive and present. Standing by the gate screen isn't a bad idea. 9. There's a blacklist, and it's bigger than you think. Every passenger has a record, and if you've ever yelled at an employee, been kicked off a flight, or no-showed repeatedly, it's noted. Airlines share this info internally through SSRs, Special Service Requests, or OSIS, Other Service Information. Gate agents check these records. A passenger marked unruly, use caution, might get denied boarding without warning. Even being overly demanding during a rebooking can stick to your profile for years. People who are flagged as a security concern, aggressive, or even as chronic complainers may not know they've been marked, but it affects how gate agents treat them. These notations can determine if you get priority in a tight connection, a seat reassignment, or even help during weather delays. 10. They know why your flight was really delayed, and they'll never say, due to late arriving aircraft, weather delay, mechanical issue. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's a cover. Gate agents often know the real reason, but they are trained to stick to the script. Maybe the flight was delayed because the crew didn't show, or catering forgot to load meals, or yes, the airline intentionally held the flight to consolidate passengers onto one plane. But you won't hear that from the podium. It's not about lying maliciously, it's about protecting the airline's image and maintaining control. The actual cause might create panic or outrage, so vague reasons are often used as a buffer. 11. Sometimes they don't know what's going on either. Flight cancelled, gate change, last-minute aircraft swap. You're not the only one in the dark. Gate agents often get info at the same time you do, or after. They are trained to act confident, even if they are guessing. Ever ask a gate agent a question and get a vague or overly polite answer? That's code for I'm waiting for ops to tell me. 2. Gate agents get dozens of internal messages from dispatch, crew ops, maintenance, and weather, and sometimes those departments don't agree. The result? Confusion. And yes, they still have to smile and pretend everything is smooth. 12. There are tricks to get you rebooked faster than everyone else. When flights are cancelled, everyone rushes to the gate, but gate agents start rebooking before that announcement hits. Want to be first in line for a new flight? Use the airline's app, call customer service, or walk to a different gate desk. Pro tip: if you're polite and prepared with options, can I go through Dallas instead? The gate agent may prioritize you over the screaming man in row 4. Even better, if you travel often, know the alternate routes on your airline's network. Gate agents appreciate passengers who know what they want and are realistic about what's possible. 13. They see every complaint and every compliment you've ever made. Gate agent can pull up your record and see your entire interaction history. If you complain after every flight, they'll know. If you once sent a kind email about a helpful agent, that'll be in there too. Yes, agents have access to your feedback file, and they are more likely to help someone with a positive track record. Some passengers are known as VIPs internally not just for their status, but because they are gracious, forgiving, and appreciative. That reputation, built over time, can earn you priority in subtle ways that status alone can't. 14. The upgrade list isn't just about status. It's about timing and behavior. Elite status matters, but it's not the only thing. Timing, availability, and your demeanor can influence upgrades. Gate agents sometimes choose between equally ranked passengers if one is polite and present, and the other is nowhere to be found. Guess who gets a seat? There's also a secret known as a gate upgrade, a seat that opens up after the list is printed. If you're around, dress well, and respectful, the agent might just offer it to you on the spot. Also, avoid hovering or pestering. The sweet spot is being visible and approachable without being overbearing. Agents notice, and they remember who made their job easier, not harder. So next time you're standing by the gate, wondering why that guy in sweatpants just got upgraded or why your flight left without you, remember, the gate agent knows more than they let on. Treat them with kindness. Show a little patience. And if you play your cards right, right, you might just find yourself sipping free champagne at 35,000 feet. Thanks for watching. Safe travels. And don't forget to subscribe for more behind-the-scenes airline truths they don't want you to know.